Michael Wittmann gained fame in 1943–44 for destroying large numbers of Soviet and Allied tanks, and his actions were heavily promoted by Nazi propaganda. His most famous engagement occurred on June 13, 1944, at Villers-Bocage in Normandy, where he ambushed a British column and halted their advance. This made him a celebrated figure in Germany, although his reputation was based partly on exaggerated reports. Michael Wittmann was born on April 22, 1914 in Vogeltal, a small village in Bavaria. He was the son of a farmer named Johann Wittmann and his wife Ursula. Growing up on a farm, Michael became familiar with hard work and machinery from an early age. As he matured, the political and military developments in Germany shaped his path. In 1934, he entered the labor service and soon after joined the German army. In October of that year, he was assigned to the 19th Infantry Regiment near Munich. He held the rank of Gefreiter Lance Corporal in the infantry. Then, in October 1936, he joined the Allgemeine SS, and on April 5, 1937, he was formally assigned to the elite unit known as the Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler. With the outbreak of World War II, Wittmann's unit took part in early campaigns. He served in the 1939 invasion of Poland and the 1940 campaign in France. Later, he took part in the Balkan campaign and the invasion of Greece in April 1941. His earliest roles included leading light armored vehicles and assault guns. On the Eastern Front from June 1941, when the German forces invaded the Soviet Union, he began his appointment to self-propelled assault guns, Stug 3, and later moved into heavy tanks. His training, his mechanical familiarity, and his battlefield exposure combined to allow him to emerge as a tank commander. By 1943, Michael Wittmann was commanding a Tiger I tank. He was assigned to the heavy company of the 1st SS Panzer Regiment and took part in major actions including the Battle of Kursk in mid-1943. Here, his platoon of 4 Tigers reinforced a reconnaissance battalion screening the division's flank. In that battle, his crew claimed several Soviet tanks and anti-tank guns destroyed. Wittmann's personal reputation grew as he survived close engagements, including a collision with a burning Soviet T-34 tank. In early 1944, his recorded tally of enemy tanks destroyed had risen considerably. On 14th of January 1944, he was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross in recognition of his achievement. A further award of oak leaves to that medal followed on January 30, 1944, for a claimed 114 or more tanks destroyed. At this point, he held the rank of SS Untersturmführer, 2nd Lieutenant, and commanded a section of the 13th Heavy Company of the SS Panzer Regiment I. His awards and rank reflect how the Nazi German leadership used tank aces for propaganda. In April 1944, his company of Tigers was transferred from the Eastern Front to the Western Front. He was placed in command of the 2nd Company of the Heavy SS Tank Battalion 101. After the Allied landings in Normandy on the 6th June 1944, his unit moved from Beauvais into Normandy over the next few days. German defensive lines were under pressure, and a gap opened near Caumont-Evante when the 352nd Infantry Division withdrew. The leadership ordered the Heavy Tank Battalion to move into position behind the divisions of the SS Panzer Corps to plug the gap. Wittmann's company was assigned the area near the town of Villers-Bocage. On June 13, 1944, the British 7th Armoured Division moved to exploit the gap and headed for Villers-Bocage and the nearby high ground known as Point 213. Wittmann, with just one of his Tigers and orders to hold, encountered this advancing force. He engaged British tanks and transport vehicles along the road through Villers-Bocage. In a short period, he and his crew reportedly destroyed several tanks, anti-tank guns, and transport vehicles, halting the British advance in that sector. For this action, he was later promoted to SS Hauptsturmführer Captain, and on June 22, 1944, was awarded the swords to his Knight's Cross. His reputation reached legendary proportions in German propaganda. However, by August, the situation had deteriorated for the German forces in the West. On or about 8 August 1944, during the battle around the Falaise Pocket, Wittmann was killed in action near Saint-Aignan-de-Cromesnil in Normandy. His Tiger tank and crew were destroyed in combat with Allied tanks. His body and those of his crew were not immediately recovered. Many years later, in 1983, their remains were discovered during construction, identified by dental records and identification tags, and reinterred in the German war cemetery at La Combe, France. Throughout his career, Wittmann received many decorations: the Iron Cross Second Class and First Class, the Panzer Badge, the Knight's Cross with oak leaves and swords, and other SS awards. These honors reflected both his battlefield claims and his value to the Nazi propaganda machine. Wittmann's life and career have since become the subject of books, articles, and historical scrutiny. He has been described as one of the most successful German tank commanders of the war, though historians also caution that much of his record was shaped by wartime reporting, propaganda, and post-war myth-making. His legacy is controversial. On the one hand, he is remembered for his tactical performance in armored warfare, including his adeptness at commanding the Tiger tank and his claimed success against enemy armor. On the other hand, his service was with the Waffen-SS, the military arm of the SS, and he fought for the Nazi regime, which committed widespread war crimes and crimes against humanity. Many historians note that the legend of Michael Wittmann has been elevated far beyond what can be independently verified, and that it embodies the way wartime propaganda creates heroes for ideological purposes. In his personal life, he married Hildegard Burmeister on March 1, 1944. The wedding was held at Lüneburg and was attended by SS comrades, Hitler Youth members, and accompanied by ceremonial gifts, reportedly including 50 bottles of wine from Adolf Hitler. The marriage took place not long before his transfer to Normandy and his eventual death. To sum up, Michael Wittmann's story begins with a young Bavarian farmer's son, rises through the ranks of the Waffen-SS during a global war, gains fame as a tank commander in the Tiger tank, and ends in his death at 30 years old in Normandy in August 1944. His rise was supported by a regime looking for heroes. His battlefield actions were marked by remarkable claims and high decorations, and his death came at a moment when the tide of war was turning decisively against Germany. His example raises questions about individual courage, military effectiveness, propaganda, ideology, and the nature of myth in war. Thanks for watching. Do you think Michael Wittmann was the greatest tank commander in history, or was there someone better? Drop your thoughts in a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.